It's good to be back. Hello my lovelies, how are we all today? As you can see, there's been some changes to the background and also to my voice because I'm really ill at the moment. I can't seem to shift this kind of coldy flu virus that's been going around at the minute, which is why I sound like all up in my nasal passages at the minute. But yeah, so a couple of my pencil drawings around this area. Those ones aren't actually mine. They were done for me by a very good friend of mine called Tobias, and they are of the Nameless Ghouls from the band Ghost, who you know I love. So yeah, aside from that and the myriad of pop dolls that you can probably see to the side, I haven't moved house. I'm still here. I'm hoping to be moved out with Alex very soon though. We're looking into that, but right now we're just seeing how everything goes. In the meantime, which is why we're seeing how everything goes, why everything's kind of on hold at the moment. I'm heading to London on the 2nd of November, and I'm going to go see my all-time favourite band, Killing Joke. Now, if you like them too, leave a comment and tell me your favourite song, because I like to meet fellow gatherers and, you know, we can talk about it. I could talk about them for years, but never mind. And if you haven't heard of them, go and check them out, I swear to God. Their song Love Like Blood is my favourite song of all time, so if you want to know my favourite song of all time, give it a listen. I'll pop a link there. Go listen to it. And then come back here and watch this video. It's an oldie but a goodie. Not this video, the song. So what have I been doing with my free time? It hasn't really been free, I'll tell you that. Well, I've been learning freelance makeup artistry, which is why I look a tiny bit more polished in this video. Well, I mean, I had the kind of skills anyway, but I'm more working towards like a certification to kind of do it more freelance at this point. And I'm delving back into my crafting business as well, which I showed you in an earlier video. So, you know, get the ball rolling on that. As well as trying to keep up with my writing and my singing. And of course uploading for you, lovely people, because I love yous all, and you know, we need to keep the content ball rolling, and that's exactly what I intend to do. Even on days where I'm not uploading, where I'm talking to yourselves, you know, I always plan to like upload and archive a little bit more. So, you know, let me know how I'm doing. I always like feedback on that front. And I've been holding down my full-time job, which I work in at the moment. That's just a, you know, little point that takes up just a tiny bit of my time that I should mention there. So let's get started. As you all know, it's coming up to my favourite day of the year, apart from Eurovision. Fun fact about me, Alex and I watch it every single year we can. We always get a big takeaway and watch the Eurovision. It's the best night of the year, I swear to God. And he's not here at the moment, but he can be second-hand embarrassed by me, don't worry about that. But no, it's coming up to Halloween.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
This diverges a little bit from the PIF side of things. I know it's a PIF channel, but you know, I really wanted to delve into kind of adverts. So as you can probably glean from the title, this is going to be Scariest adverts, not public information campaigns. If you want to watch my public information campaigns, top 10 scariest, then click here. And then come back and watch this one if you're so inclined. Right, without further ado, I know I've said that about 500 times now, but really without further ado, here's my top 10 scariest adverts, and oh, see, I'm doing it again, I'm procrastinating. I'm the queen of procrastination if you haven't told by now, but yeah. A quick disclaimer before we go. These are adverts I personally find scary. You might not find them scary in the slightest, and God knows that Alex has actually ripped the piss out of me for my top 2 suggestions, so feel free to in the comments. However, they would terrify the fuck out of me when I was younger. There's a mix of some recent ones that I've discovered on the net, which are universally terrifying and just makes you feel horrible, you know, and some childhood nightmare inducing ones. So buckle up and let's go.
It's Peachy's top 10 scariest ads. Hope it's not too spooky for you.
Is money evil? Well, that depends on whose pocket it's in. Money itself cannot corrupt or make good men greedy. Weakness of character does those things. Money can feed the starving, liberate the imprisoned, and strengthen the weak. Money can buy you dance lessons. No, money isn't evil. Love of money is evil. If a dollar was a chicken, would a chicken be evil?
I know people are going to consider this choice to be completely left field, but this is why I'm putting it in the lowest ranking. You know, as per most adverts that I find scary, I quite often caught this one when I was younger, just as I was about to go to sleep, watching TV in bed. And, you know, the scream at the end with that chicken can pretty much count as a jump scare. And, you know, the background music to me is quite unsettling. And, you know, Sam L, as he's pacing towards you, looking quite aggressive as he usually is, but, you know, I love him to bits. He's one of my favourite actors. I can forgive him for starring in these confusing yet slightly terrifying adverts. I'll give us a scare factor of 1 to start this list off with, and believe me, it's gonna go up.
There's good reason for my glistening skin, and how I shine, and how my pores are so clean and clear. I eat little baby's ice cream. It keeps me young. It keeps me light on my feet. I spring from activity to activity. I love my job. I love my life. When you eat little baby's ice cream, you'll wink and nod and hug and high-five each other with great enthusiasm. This is a special time. Little baby's ice cream. Ice cream is a feeling.
Definitely ramping up the visceral body horror with this one. Should it even qualify as body horror even if his entire body's made out of ice cream? Ugh, even still, he's fucking eating himself, man. I challenge you all to turn the lights off and watch this entire thing staring right into his eyes. You'll come out of it a changed person. Fucking hell, man. Little baby's ice cream made out of little babies, you'd think, with this fucking advert. Straight up scare factor healthy, 5 out of 10 for this one, at the halfway point already. That music box last note nightmare at the end with the guy's voice just caps it all off. Fucking hell. Number 8.
Kinder, you go shaky. Me unscrabbly. Chock-a-doobie! Doubly chock-a-doobie! Pops wobble! Toy! Yodel yum and choco scrum with multi-pop wobble dies! Oh, grubbly! Me screwball now! Snuggle! Whee!
You know, I racked my brains for as hard as I could to think of what I could say about this, and I couldn't figure out how to put it in words. So I'm gonna sing it instead. Number 7. Like 7 days. It's like the rain.
Hello, Mrs. Jensen. You don't have any Snickers in your shopping cart. The neighborhood kids love Snickers on Halloween. Let me help you.
Oh,
I'm only helping. Snickers.
we're definitely going to her house. Shh.
This Halloween, nothing satisfies like Snickers.
Is anybody else getting the old Halloween movie, Michael Myers, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Uncanny Valley vibes from this? I know it's meant to be light-hearted kind of horror in that it's kids dressing up as, like, you know, almost Mrs. Doubtfire kind of character. And all they're doing is trying to get the lady to buy the sweets that they like for Halloween, but it just transcends into that kind of pure abject horror, as I like to label this kind of nightmare feel. You've seen that on another title of one of my videos. It is quite similar to this, actually, in terms of mask-related horror. But yeah, I'm going to give this one a steady 6 for the scare factor. Ooh. This is one of the ones I saw in one of those compilation videos on YouTube. When the lady's face came up, it made me jump out of my bloody skin. And that laugh as well, it's so sinister. It's even more surprising when you find out that it's like an ident thing for like a black comedy program on Adult Swim. I mean, Adult Swim can be known for their creepiness, so just look up The Dawn Is Your Enemy. You can thank me for later on that one. I'm going to give this one, it's a 7 out of 10. It's definitely getting up there in terms of the scariness. We're increasing in little increments here. How could it possibly get any worse? Oh, I really don't like this one. That music, and I seem to have a thing to rail against like nose and body and like face related horror. Like those seems to be the things that like push my scare buttons the most when it comes to adverts. The roots of that will all be explained in number 1. Trust me, I have a lengthy explanation to go through on that one. This is also getting a scare factor of 7 because damn, it just makes me feel so uncomfortable. God damn it, McDonald's, was that really necessary? Number 4. You probably could have predicted this one making the list. I don't think anyone's watched this one comfortably or with the volume on full blast, and if you say you have, you're a bloody liar. That jump still gets me every time. I think the girl herself's meant to actually look like Kuchisake Onna, who's a Japanese urban legend, the slit-mouth woman. But the circumstances of her appearing in this are nothing like the original fairy tale. In this one, she's actually promoting road safety. She's actually on our side. I don't know why we hate her so much. She's being helpful in this one. She even floats up at the end with an information tile after scaring the ever-loving fuck out of you. If only she brought clean pants as well. This one scores a tidy 8.5 on the spookometer. Number 3. Can I just get one thing perfectly fucking straight before I get into this one? I am deathly afraid of clowns. Alex will attest to this. I get panic attacks. I get fucking creeps whenever I see them. Just, honestly, I know there's this whole killer clown thing going round. It even happened at a bloody school near where I live, but I swear, never in my life have I been more tempted to carry around a baseball bat just in case. But, you know, back on the advert. I love how they're trying to sell a product that's associated with, like, self-care, soothing, quiet moments. Then they just fucking throw Pennywise into a lake and expect everything to be fine. I can't deal with this, man. It's too much. Coulrophobia is real, people. It's real and it's horrible. I don't want to watch this one again. I just included it for the sake of this countdown, you know. This gets a 9. Easy, easy 9. Only consolation is he fucking drowns at the end. Red nose. Number 2.
What do I like about Amy? Let's see. There's a lot of things that we have in common. She likes to run, like me.
I am so bad. I am nothing but a bad person. Yes, Doctor. I'm so happy I can be myself.
The one cheetah just stared when I changed my legs. Stared. I'm gonna run with the cheetahs and the antelope. It's a total feeling of accomplishment.
You know what, looking back on it now, I can see it's like an empowering, if slightly art house advert. It has nothing whatsoever to do with shitty internet, and we had free set back in the day, so I know what I'm talking about. For some reason, I was absolutely terrified of it when I was younger. I mean, part of it might be the avant-garde fashion kind of stuff, and I'm like, what the hell is that? But as soon as the little girl came on and said it opening line, I'd run screaming out the bloody room. I think half of it is that shot in one of the closing frames where you just see her blades as she's sitting down, and they're on like a wooden block or a footstool or that kind of thing. I think because I didn't actually understand why she had those, it freaked me the fuck out. Of course, now I'm older and wiser, I think Amy Mullins is actually a stunning lady and a really inspiring woman. But back then, you know, it was just the way it was shot as well. It just puts you off guard and it just keeps you guessing. I guess it didn't work with younger Sarah. If I were to rate the scare factor today, I'd give it a 5, but if you give younger Sarah a reviewing job, she'd probably say it's a 9.5.
Introducing Classic from Danepack. It's sticker cut, like bacon used to be cut, and cured the way bacon used to be cured, with no added water. So it tastes and smells irresistible. Classic from Danepack. Nobody knows bacon like we know bacon.
I know exactly the expression on your face. You're disappointed in me that I didn't show some fascinating jump scare, and you're sorry that you ever subscribed, and you're probably contemplating hitting the unsubscribe button right now. Don't. Let me tell you a story first. Strap yourself in, because this is a long one. Let me tell you a story about the true eldritch horror referred to in my household as the bacon nose. I've already chatted with Hello I'm a Pizza about this one, so they know what I'm on about. When I was very small, this advert would come on. I would scream, I would cry, and I would fight for the remote so that they could turn it off. Well, soon my parents learned to adapt, and as soon as the shot of the bed would come up, they'd turn it off for me. But the times they couldn't, I had to sit and watch in infinite horror as this man's nose controls his very being in pursuit of sizzling flesh. Fear of the bacon nose grew. It grew just as his nose grew, swift and relentless. It got to the point where, in my countless phobias of this particular advert, my older brothers had to reassure me that they'd caught and killed the bacon nose man, and had thrown him in the biffa skip behind the chip shop we'd go to every weekend. Now, if that's not the most Geordie sentence you've ever heard, get back to us. Every time I went past the biffa with me brothers to go and get me cheeseburger and chips from the chip shop, I'd ask, "Did you kill the bacon nose and did you put him in the skip?" Yes, Sarah did. Did you chop them up into little pieces? Yeah. Okay. And the cycle continued until the day it was discontinued from television, basically. Now, Danepak have a fair track record of horror-inducing adverts, like the Exorcist girl, whose head spins around the fairground music when she catches the scent of bacon. You know, if your body morphs into some abomination or disfigurement every time you smell bacon, it's enough to put you off for life. Not a very good marketing technique, if I'm perfectly honest with you there, Danepak. Although it did stick in my brain. That's one way to get your brand noticed. Visceral body horror. I rediscovered this advert a few weeks ago on one of mine and Alex's advert searches, where we find adverts from our childhood, and I figured, oh, there's some unresolved trauma up here, best have a look. You know, my reaction was to be expected. I catapulted myself to the back of the room on my office wheelie chair going, no, fuck, no. As all the feelings just came back. I found myself even like tearing up after I'd found it. I was just like, I was so shaken. Like, I know it's not scary now, I'm a grown woman, but it still freaks me out. I think it's just because I've had past experience of it freaking us out, that I'm kind of, you know, muscle memory conditioned to feel like that after seeing it. So, you know, I think it's deserving of the top spot because, you know, it actually had an impact on my family's life and the way my family spoke to me. And the bacon nose is actually a term. If I went downstairs and asked my mother now about the bacon nose, she'd be able to tell you exactly the same story that I've just told you right there. So thanks very much for tuning in. It's been a while and I do apologise that my voice is slowly deteriorating throughout the video, but I'm doing my best and suffering through it just to get this video out there. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning now, I probably should pack it in. But right, I will see you next time. Stay spooky.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear the...
Right, Mum, now that I've got you here, could you possibly tell my subscribers the story of the bacon nose? See, she knows I'm not lying.
The bacon nose.
The bacon nose.
No, not the bacon nose. How you used to run out the room.
Yep.
Screaming.
Yep. I've told
Every
that part
time
of the
it comes
story.
along.
And I've told them about when my brothers would take us to Clem's and there was the biffer behind the...
And what did you say about the bacon nose? Stephen said, don't worry about it, because I'll put it in biffer. And you said, then what will you do? And he says, I'll chop it into hundreds and thousands of pieces. And then you said, then what will you do?
I was very morbid as a child, as you can probably tell, and that's why I've probably decided to go into video reviewing such as this, but...
And then he said, and then I'll throw it in the ocean.
I don't remember that bit. I would have included that bit if I'd remembered that bit, but yeah, interesting developments, but yeah. That's,
yeah, and then you said, then what will you do? And he says, Mom.
So yeah, that's verification that the bacon nose has moulded its way into the lexicon of our family. Why would I lie to you, you know? I just thought you'd give you that extra proof as a little bonus, so hope you enjoyed.